Alright, this is Matthew Mickey, and I'll be doing reengineering for October 30th, 2025, Thursday, right? First and foremost, we can see we had kind of contradicting markets overnight, right? Long false broken, long true broken, right? And like we're expecting a new low day, high day by after RTH, right? Let's go look at the data that supports that, right? So long, false, broken, long, true, broken, and we haven't not broke out of shorts yet. There we go, we went short. So now looking at the high of the day, low of the day data, you can see that most of the high of the day, the low of the day, and the high of the day is supported after 9:30. All right, so going on, we can see that New York 1 has a 60% probability of being false versus the 39 of true. Right, we can see that that reversal should happen between 9:30 and 10:15. Right, and that we should be expecting short false, which would support this kind of price action, right? For the next 3 hours, right? Make the low of the day between 9:30 and 10:15, start heading up, right? Expecting the quarters during the 10 to 11 to be respected, right? Put this on our chart so we remember what the highest probable structure looks like. So if it does not work that way, we can identify it ASAP, right? All right, so now let's put our 10-day median distro on, right, which is 344, which would put us right around this low of the day, previous day low. All right, there's new low of the day getting put in right now, right? So now we're going to put our session distro on for New York 1, right? We know that New York 1 over the last, oh, I was already on it, is 0.76, right? So over the last 16 Thursdays, New York 1 from 7:30 to 11 has put the 50% of the time put the distro 0.76, right? So this would support the short false bouncing off this P12 low or coming a little bit lower into the previous day wick and then bouncing up, right? So we know that's what we're looking for now. Let's put the low of the day data in and the high of the day data. We can see that the highest probable low of the day will happen between 9:30 or 9:30, 10:15, right? Between zero point 0.2 and zero point 0.6, right? So we'll just come over here, we'll select short false, 0.2 to zero point 0.6, right? And then the high of the day data has 0.3 to zero point 0.9 in the day, right? So we'll just put 0.3 to 0.9, that's the wrong one, 0.3 to 0.9, and 1516, right? So we can see that this is the highest probability for our low of the day to be in this area, right? And then for us to come put a high of the day. And then our 10-day median distro support, daily distro supports this range from high of day to low of day. So we'll just play it as is, right? So that's the highest probability. Now let's talk about if we can't do this, right? Like 9 o'clock opens up, right? 9:30 opens up and sells or even buys, but the biggest signature is that you can't get that four-step reversal that we talk about um, happening. And by 10:15, we're still looking like something like this, right? We have to accept that short true and pay attention to the clues. We can't get above 9 o'clock 50, can't get back above 9:30, or if we break out during 9:30, 9:44, we reverse it with a four-step reversal to the downside, right? So we'll be paying attention to that, and our decisions for the true will come off of that. All right. So now let's go look at that data and what that looks like. So for a short true, you have 10 to 10:15 low of the day, but majority of the time it happened at the end of the day. Your high of the day, which currently is at 2300, you don't have any data besides this one day that happened, high of the day that happened at 2300. We can see that high of the day went from point like 1 to 0.7. So from a price standpoint, we went even above that. So we're not expecting short true, we're expecting this high of the day to get breached, right? So with that being said, that is my high probability trade set up of the 9:30 to the 11, and then once New York Q comes, I'll war game the afternoon session. Later, haters.